Let go for Lecco. Sheriff Joe Lecco. He's in a rerun. He's rerunning for Dakota County Sheriff. Now he oversees all the jails, the juvenile jail, okay, in Dakota County here, and he oversees all the sheriffs, okay, the sheriff's department, okay. Now he's an elected official. Now something that he's probably not going to talk to you about in his next re-election bid here is a case from a guy called Ben Pong. Ben Pong, who is Ben Pong? Anyways, who is his family? I like to meet him. Well, Ben Pong was needlessly killed by 3 Eagan police officers who pulled him over, okay? And about 7 or 8 Dakota County sheriffs in jail officers, okay? Now, Joe Lecco, he's the head coach of this team that had Ben Pong taken into their custody. Okay, now Ben Pong, he was pulled over while having a stroke. Okay, how many of you remember the case of Ben Pong? He was pulled over while having a stroke. 3 white Eagan police officers, okay, pulled him over for, I believe, a signal violation. Okay, they couldn't see that, he was slurring his speech. His eyes, his face was all droopy. Okay, they couldn't see that this man was going through a medical emergency. He was having an actual stroke while he's driving a car. Okay, now getting pulled over by 3 white Eagan police officers, not being able to speak, naturally these white police officers are going to think you're on drugs, right? So what did they do with Ben Pong? Instead of taking him immediately to a hospital, even if he is on drugs, he's overdosing or something, okay, because he's slurring his speech, okay, and he's basically begging these police officers for help. That's what Ben Pong was trying to say to these 3 white Eagan police officers. Please help me, take me to the hospital. But again, you're having a stroke, right? Your motor skills, okay, your bodily functions aren't acting, too good for you. So when Ben Pong gets to the Dakota County jail, okay, what do? They don't get him immediately medical attention. They leave him in a holding cell, lying on the floor, having multiple seizures until he becomes completely brain dead, foaming out of the mouth. Now, Joe Lecco, re-election, okay, it's a re-election year. Do you think he's going to talk to you about this case where 7 of his employees oversaw basically manslaughter on an innocent black postal delivery driver? He delivered your mail, Ben Pong. He delivered your mail here in Minnesota. He's a good guy, okay? Do you think Joe Lecco is going to ever talk about that when he has a debate or a re-election, meeting, or he's asking people for money? Do you think he's going to be a good head coach and say, you know what? I'm going to look back on Ben Pong, our failures as a department, okay? I'm not going to look at all of our accolades and highlights, okay, all the fluff stuff. I'm going to pick this place apart with the purpose of making it better, making corrections. So what is Joe Lecco, when he's asked this question, okay, if any honest journalist decides to ask him this question, Joe Lecco, what have you learned from the case from Ben Pong? He died in your custody. Basically manslaughter on 3 white male Eagan police officers and 7 Dakota County sheriff's officers that were in jail and oversaw his death, okay? Now, Joe Lecco, you're the head coach. Is there anything that you learned from this situation, this very bad situation, other than we're going to throw a bunch of money at Ben Pong's family and, make them sign a whole bunch of non-disclosure agreements so they can never talk about it again and what really happened, okay? You're just going to throw a bunch of money at it and hope it goes away, like all your other police scandals? No, Joe Lecco, make the correction. What is your department going to do better to ensure this never happens to another innocent citizen in Dakota County? Do you think he's going to talk about that? Do you think he's ever going to be challenged about that stuff? No, but as citizens, it's our job. So next time you see Joe Lecco, say, hey, what are you doing about Ben Pong? He probably doesn't even know who Ben Pong is, okay? A guy that died under his watch. Basically manslaughter. Died of a stroke in Dakota County Jail custody in Hastings, Minnesota. He's pronounced brain dead, okay? Watch the news clippings of Ben Pong. You're not going to see very many of them on the front page, okay? Or even the back page. It was, less than 60 seconds Ben Pong got airtime, okay? The day it happened. Because why don't they want to do that? Innocent black guy, basically killed by 3 white police officers, but they didn't even have to step on his neck. They didn't have to kneel on him. They had to watch him stroke out. Okay, love you, Eagan police. Hey, And after I started speaking up about bin pong, I was pulled over twice within 10 minutes by Eagan Police Department. Why? Because I'm sticking up for an innocent black guy? Because you guys are clowns? Hey, police officers, stay safe tonight. Make sure you wear your badge, okay, your costumes, okay? Look the part. Love you, police.